anniversary and a Christmas and a birthday and no more presents.
Is Councilmember O'Connell able to join us?
Freddie's
By any
around.
chance? I know he is often in another one at the same time. Health hospitals. Public Works is at 4:30. He may still be in that one. But I'm here, so I can still run that bill if I need to.
Until I'm figured it out.
I think they might be talking
I'm just a
scooters.
visitor, so I didn't know if the seats
that
were
should take
reserved.
Quick charger.
Oh,
Yeah.
I will.
I pulled him out.
Okay, great. In that case, we can take
Your
that
wife
one
keeps
first.
their charge. Your wife has a tracking device on you.
It was a crowded room, but I guess we
There
can
he
go
is.
ahead. Okay.
All right, if someone could get the
You
door.
talking to the birds, man?
We haven't even gotten to it yet. We're still talking about grease.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Today is Tuesday, August the 7th, 2018. This is the Personnel, Public Information, Human Relations, and Housing Committee. I do detect a quorum. We do have a lengthy agenda for today's meeting, so I will get started with the first item, which is Resolution RS 2018-1320. Sponsors are Councilmember O'Connell, who's with us, Vercher, and myself. This one authorizes the Metro Development and Housing Agency to negotiate and enter into a pilot agreement and accept payments in lieu of ad valorem taxes with respect to a multifamily housing project located at 1427 Lebanon Pike, known as Sycamore's Terrace Retirement Community. Is there a motion?
I guess I can move since I'm on this committee.
You'd move.
So moved.
All right. Discussion.
I'm happy to start discussion by just saying I have met with both the existing property owner, the acquiring owner, and discussed it with MDHA. We basically have a deal that seems to me to be all upside here, preserves long-term affordability on a corridor along Lebanon Pike that desperately needs it. It also will result in a private investment in a facility that could use it, and to me it seems like exactly why we would want to use pilot. So it's I think this is a good deal for the city and ultimately for that community of Cityside that it's going into.
How long is it for?
Ooh, that's a good question. Do we have an MDHA?
It's a 10-year pilot. The forgiveness for the first year is estimated at $68,278. They are increasing their amount of taxes property taxes that they will be paying when this goes into effect, and they will continue to increase at a rate of 5% per year that they will be paying. So when the pilot goes into effect, they'll be paying more property taxes than they are today, and that will increase at a rate of 5% per year.
And we expect actually that occupancy at the facility as something that again offers long-term affordability is going to increase.
Any other discussion? Is there a motion?
We've already moved.
Motion to approve. All in favor?
It has to be second.
Second. Is there a second?
Again.
Councilmember Scott Davis seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Councilman.
I apologize that I can't stay for the whole thing, but I've got to get back to public things.
All right. Next, we have a series of items. I'm wondering if we can kind of take them together. Well, no, I'll do the IT ones next since Mr. Durbin has joined us. The next item is Resolution RS 2018-1338. Sponsors are Councilmembers Vercher, Roberts, and myself, Withers. This is a resolution approving a contract between the Metro government and Infor, Inc., INFOR, Inc., to provide maintenance and support of workforce time and attendance software for the Metro Nashville Police Departments. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion. Discussion from Director Durbin or others?
Yeah, how many different timekeeping companies do we have?
That was going to be my question.
Permission to speak. So that is not mine. The other one is mine, the Metro Enterprise contract with Kronos, that's 1352. That's the one that finance and ITS runs. So that WorkBrain is the name of the product of Infor, is one that has been in place at the police department for 15 years or so, heavily customized. I can't speak to the level of customization, but it is very customized for the work that they do.
So my question is, how many companies do we have doing
Timekeeping.
Timekeeping.
So, one of the things that we provided that I don't think Mr. Jameson has had the opportunity, unless you have your email now, is Mr. Glover asked some questions yesterday at Budget and Finance.
I'm shocked.
And this was a response that we were asked to provide, and in the back, it covers the departments that are on the Kronos Enterprise Standard System. It also talks about the departments that are waiting in line to come on to the enterprise system. The company you're talking about right now, and the contract you're talking about Infor, is just for the police department. So questions about whether they are going to move at some point to the system that we have are better directed to them.
And Mr. Durbin and Councilmember Pardue, the council analysis document indicates that this agreement with Infor would start July 1st, 2018, so I assume it's already in place, but it would terminate June 30th of 2021.
That's already in place.
That's, I mean, but I would assume that it's one that we're currently using that's being renewed.
I think it's a sole source for an existing contract. I mean, they've had it in 15 years or so.
I don't know.
So I guess, I mean, I understand that police and fire have very different timing schedules, shifts, and that type of thing than most of our other departments and things like that. It is, I think, as a council as a whole, a lot of times we've voiced some concern about duplicity of services and that type of thing. You and I have talked quite a bit about duplicity of email and web servers and things like that. So this is, do we have anybody here that can speak to if this is something that police special, can Kronos do what the police need?
So you mentioned Telestaff, which is the system the fire department used. That is actually a Kronos product and is actually coming, and this is Dawn Clark, she's our assistant director, who manages this area, who is coming under the Kronos application. So again, police and fire have unique scheduling systems. So
right.
my understanding, and Dawn can correct me, is that in the right scenario, that eventually, yes, that could be the place.
But we don't have anybody from police here that could answer some of these questions of why we are different. Would it be appropriate, I mean, I guess if it's already in place, we don't have much of an option, whereas I would have, I guess, my concern, I know at home, we get lots of emails about when you bundle your services, you know, and that type of thing, and it just, I would think would make more sense if we had some of that more information. As I'm looking at all of you, like you could continue to respond or have an answer, but you don't, I know that.
Yeah, I mean, when we implemented Kronos 5 years ago, or we started.
Right.
That's when we entered into the initial contract. And, at that time, actually a little bit longer than that, it was 2012 timeframe. And finance actually initiated it because, they were getting a lot of requests by departments that wanted to go out to RFP to get their own, time and attendance system. And we had, like 10 years prior, we had tried to make WorkBrain be that enterprise solution. And we started with police, who had the greatest immediate need. And what ended up happening is it got so heavily customized that we couldn't roll it out to anybody else. And police, kept it because they had customized it at that point. And even the original company, WorkBrain, went out of business, and Infor, bought it out at that point. So essentially, when we look to do, for your exact purpose is finance was getting all these budget requests, these, duplicative, and not good use of taxpayer money. And they said, we need to have a enterprise-wide system. That's that is, when anybody asks that they want to have this, then this is going to be the one that they have to go with from that point forward. And this is going to be the only one that we're going to interface with our ERP system. And that's why Kronos was selected, because it was already interfaced with the hospital authority at the time.
Different.
And so, but when we did that, fire was already on Telestaff, police was already on WorkBrain, water services was already on PeopleSoft, And then there were some smaller little hubs, but we only looked at those 3 big ones that were well-established systems, and they weren't moving off of those, easily because of the customization. So, we basically put in place, the contract, and we looked at volume discounting of the licenses that we could implement in the future rollout, all the other departments metro-wide, and then even schools came on board, which was really the first successful collaboration we had of them wanting to come on board with us, in that project, and it was, and they've implemented at their own pace, but, we can't, that's not kind of our control, but yeah, so that's what our intent was to do is that very thing, but to take police right now off of this,
Yeah.
customized system that I was actually, kind of indirectly related to the team when it was being implemented. I was managing the IT kind of group, and it was like a couple years worth of implementation and heavy customization. It's not recognizable anymore. So could they, not out of the box for sure.
So could police come on to Kronos?
The potential is there, yes, at some point. And so our contract, which is down the agenda, is for a 5-year. The licensing numbers are in the memo that you have in your email right now. There's one paper copy, and here's a second paper copy should you be interested in. And on the 3rd page of that, it tails the departments that are on it today and the departments that are lined up, waiting to come on as of next summer.
So would it be, if it looks like this is, I'm just throwing this out there, if we want to make the motion, would it make, it looks like this contract's already started. Would it make sense for us to defer this so we could get that information of why are they going with the system rather than Kronos? Just for next meeting and then move it forward?
How long is this contract, you say?
It's a 3-year extension. We'll go through 2021, June 30th of 2020.
So
You don't do it when I'm gone.
How would we want to do that?
I would just suggest that it will be a several-year project to migrate that type of an organization to another system like Kronos. So I would propose that going ahead and approving this with an intent, a stated intent to them that we start investigating what it would look like to move them onto the enterprise system, just like fire.
Sure, and this
My only
item will
concern
also
is
come
like
before the
that-
Public Safety Committee, which is next.
Okay, my concern is like if we move it forward today, that conversation's not gonna happen, and we don't have any police here today. And so I'd rather, if we, it's already started, if we could, will that jack too much stuff up?
I think the FOP president is here. I thought I saw him. Did you see
He's
him?
in the
He might be
chambers.
tied up with another public safety or something.
I got
In the
those.
chamber.
Do you think he can speak to it, or is it, I'm just guessing it's a department level?
Oh, yeah.
He's the FOP.
Yeah.
You think you need a chief or somebody or assistant?
need
Yeah, I'm looking for
Or
like
Mr. Hager
administration,
or
yeah,
someone like
yeah, yeah.
that.
So, just because I'm not sure that our intention might get stated, but the conversation might not get had if we pass it on through. But I'm totally at the will of the committee.
Well, then let's vote.
I'll make the motion to defer this so we can have a little bit more discussion on intentions and if there is a way to sync everybody up eventually.
Would it mess anything up? We have a deadline or something?
We don't have anyone from
They're not here.
here, so.
That's why we have to defer it, because they're not here to answer the questions.
So the motion is to defer one meeting?
Just one meeting, so we can, I would just, my assumption is that the more things we sync up, the better long-term.
So the motion is to
Customer
defer,
service.
there's a motion on the floor to defer one meeting. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I will vote with the majority for a one-meeting deferral. So that would be 4-0. And if it's okay, I'll go ahead, since we've had discussion on 1352, I'll go ahead and have that now. So that is Resolution 2018-1352. Lead sponsor is Councilmember Bircher. I will go ahead and move that forward. Approves a contract between Metro Government and Kronos, Inc. to provide time and attendance and advanced scheduling software, hosting, equipment, and technical support. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Any further discussion beyond what we've already had? Are we ready to vote?
Yes.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, I think that's it for IT. I believe. We now move on to personnel stuff and Mayor's Office. Resolution 2018-1351, which sponsors myself, authorizes the mayor to enter into an interlocal agreement pursuant to the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act as required by the state of Tennessee to establish a new local workforce development area.
Motion.
Discussion from the administration or anyone from,
I can speak to that. So the state, I sent out a memo to the council last week. The state in May voted to realign their workforce areas from 13 areas down to 9 areas. So that entailed us merging our current workforce area of Davidson, Rutherford, Wilson, and Trousdale with Williamson, Dixon, Cheatham, Stewart, Humphreys, Houston, Robertson, Montgomery, and Sumner to create a 13-county area, which means that we need to have a whole new interlocal. We have a current interlocal agreement for the 4 counties. We need a new one for the 13 counties covering the area. And so this is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into that agreement.
Move approval.
all right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
It's time for the next meeting.
All right.
If I go, if we sound.
We will
We
have a-
we would lose quorum. If we can really quickly go through, if you can, we have 2 additional items. They're both Career Advancement Center related. If it's okay, I'll take both of them up simultaneously. 2018-1353 sponsors our Virtue Withers, approves Amendment 4 to a grant from the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development to the Nashville Career Advancement Center to establish programs to prepare adult service recipients for employment. The second one is Resolution RS 2018-1354. Sponsors our Virtue Withers, approves Amendment 1 to a grant from the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development through the Nashville Career Advancement Center to establish programs to prepare and carry out adult services to benefit service recipients. Is there a motion?
Motion on both.
All right. Second. Any discussion? We ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. We're good. And then finally, we have a bill on second reading, Bill 2018-1281, sponsors Councilmember Murphy and Henderson, amends the Metro Code of Laws to codify a sexual harassment awareness and training requirement for employees and certain contractors, and there is a motion to defer to the first meeting in October.
So we can have some meetings and get more information from the administration.
Right. Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. This concludes the Personnel, Public Information, Human Relations, and Housing Committee. Thank you.
See ya.